Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style, cinephile. So, Batwoman Freeze, third episode, still got two others to get to, of Batwoman's third season. And this was a pretty okay episode, all things considered. So let's geek about it for a scan, a few minutes now. The basic premise of the episode was simple. We know these Batman villain trophies are out in the wild, so people are going to find them and things are going to happen. So Mr. Freeze's stuff is out in the wild. First, a freeze canister is discovered. It ends up freezing a bus. That kind of puts him on the Bat Team's radar. And then they go to try to recover Mr. Freeze's tank and some other Mr. Freeze-related items. They find out it's been stolen. It's been stolen actually by Nora Freeze's sister, who wants to help her out. And then we get through the kind of the backstory on Mr. Freeze and kind of how he came to be in this episode, that his wife got sick. He was trying to figure a way to cure her, froze her until a cure could be found, did the runaround with Batman. He ends up dying. They find a cure. She gets thawed out, and seemingly she's okay, but then 30 years of being frozen kind of catches up with her, time catches up with her, and she's basically starting to fall apart. She's rapidly aging and just falling apart. Her sister wants to put her back on ice to, again, till they can find a way to cure her. And then there's this gang that has a client who wants the freeze technology. So that's how they kind of get all mixed up into things. That's basically the premise of it. Now, it was an interesting episode from the standpoint that you have Nora Freeze, who is kind of tired at this point, just tired of people trying to throw their lives away for her, be it Mr. Freeze, be it her sister, who was just kind of dialed in on this whole idea and thought to save her and just do what she can to save her. And she feels kind of trapped by the life that she's had, be it frozen, and now kind of her sister wants to put it back on ice, and she just wants to, she's just tired. She just wants to let time pass and to pass away. Enjoy the time she has left, but to just pass away. So it's interesting to kind of see that play out as the episode goes on, and the sister's kind of, the sister who's trying to save Nora kind of come to terms with that fact. I mean, it's family. Family life is fleeting. We see it all the time in news every day. We have, I mean, the stats show, you know, there's however many car accidents a second, however many gun-related incidents a second or a minute or whatever the stats are, or people just dying of natural causes. People are dying all the time, every day, every however many seconds. As I'm recording this, by the time I get through talking, somebody will have died, maybe more than one. So life is fleeting and it's precious. And so I can understand the sister wanting to hold on to her sister because, I mean, again, life is precious. Life is inevitability. Inevitably, we're going to lose our parents. Our kids are going to lose us. If we have siblings, if we have older siblings, we're going to lose them. You know, it just happens that way. So you try to hold on as best you can. So I can understand the whole sister's thing with that. And her finally coming to terms with it by the episode's end. I like that. I like that natural sort of progression that they did with this episode. Other than that, you have Ryan and her mother talking, Jada talking, and basically she's just like, I don't want anything to do with you. Like Ryan comes at her like, hey, stuff happened, you did what you did, I'm not mad, just want you to know I'm cool. Jada, on the other hand, is like, I don't care if you're cool, kick rocks. I don't want to see you again. I don't want nothing to do with you or I'm going to destroy your company. Wow, that's kind of a leap. But we don't know the story and what all went into her having Ryan in secret, paying off doctors to keep this a secret, give her away. We find out a hint from her brother that there's an affair, and that's where Ryan came from. So that's what the cover-ups and then that sort of thing. So we don't know who Jada's father is and his connections and just, did she love the guy, made a mistake? Did she want to hold on to him because of his connections that he had? We don't know who he is just yet. But the brother comes hoping to have a partnership with Ryan in secret, which would kind of piss off their mother. And Ryan considers it for a second, but then she ultimately wants to pass because of Jada's possible connections in the city could bring down Wayne Enterprises. She doesn't want to do that. She thinks of the team first. And you get kind of, it throws Ryan for a loop, this whole thing, because, you know, she didn't know she wanted a family. Like I said, life is fleeting, so you want to hold on to siblings and this and that. Ryan, at this point, did not know that that's what she still wanted. She wants a family. She wants a mom and a sibling. Like, she's elated almost at the fact she has a brother that she didn't know she had. Now that she knows she has him, she's kind of like, oh, it'd be cool to have a brother. But it's kind of, it's not for her under these current circumstances, according to Jada. So she has to kind of put it aside, put those feelings in a box and just throw it away. So we'll see how that weighs on Ryan going forth. We still see this Sophie Ryan thing that they're building to, which I don't like. They end up flirting in the episode and just some other stuff when Ryan gets trapped in a slow-moving death trap. And I just don't like that. I know that's where we're going, and I've said before, I don't like it because it puts Sophie at like 3 for 3 as far as women wearing the bat suit that she's jumping into bed with and stuff. And just unless it comes to, I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous video, or maybe I just saw it on a board that somebody threw out there. I've yet to talk about it. But unless it comes to the conclusion by Sophie that the women of the cowl are just some sort of coping mechanism, or just what, like, she comes to the realization herself that being with Ryan is just, it's just not what she needs. Being with, going 3 for 3 for women in a suit, and they end up splitting up or just not having a relationship, or just realize before they even get started that it's not right for either one of them, and they should just be friends, I'll be cool with it. Otherwise, it's just like, well, she's into chicks, she's into chicks, they're on the same show, let's put them together. That's what it just reeks of that mentality, and I don't like that. We can do better. Outside of that, with Alice, you have her trying to wedge drive Mary with the rest of the team, kind of showing that Mary that she's just a tool for them, a resource that they need to kind of pick up when there's something medical they need and kind of put down, and not really consider her thoughts, feelings, and ideas and desires, what she wants to get out of. And then she kind of puts forth the whole thing about Luke and the suit and how he's got PTSD, and that's why the suit's not working, because it's trying to protect him, and she's kind of doesn't know whether or not she should tell that to Ryan, which she eventually does, which kind of puts her at odds with Luke. So we'll kind of see how that goes going forward. Then the episode closes out with her getting kidnapped, presumably by Poison Ivy. So remains to be seen what happens with that. Alice is going nutty, which is nothing new. Whatever, Alice. Just, I want her off the show, but here we are. All in all, it was a pretty nifty episode. Had some good action, had some good stuff with the Batmobile and them chasing down the villains, having to use Mr. Freeze's tank to make like an ice bridge, and that was fun. The hand-to-hand stuff was pretty cool. I'm just a sucker for any scene that involves a bow staff. I just love that weapon. If I took martial arts, that's what I would want to just get my hands on and study and make use out of as soon as possible, because this is just the coolest weapon in the world to me, anyway. Outside of that, like I said, it was a pretty good episode. Nothing I really can complain with about it outside of pushing Sophie and Ryan together. I don't want that. It's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. We're careening towards it. It is what it is. Yeah. But anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it, scattered as they often are. But you guys out there think, let me know in the comments below. Follow me, social media, talk to me there, talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek.